Devotion time. I tried pushing it away because I just didn't understand some stuff. And the Holy Spirit is a spiritual counselor. Is my spiritual counselor. It's like, it's time, Sharice. No. Again, it's not the first time. I've, maybe 2 years ago, I don't know. But, and I've thought about it for decades. I say thought about it, but I don't understand it still. But throughout life, through experiences and other observations down the line, as I mature in my thinking, as I see more, experience more, then it brings clarity. It may bring clarity to some of the past stuff that I have stored or didn't understand. As the saying goes, by and by. So before I flunked out of college, I'm not, trying to laugh like it's okay, but I was, I'm an empath. And a lot of things were just very heavy to me. A lot of people shared with me. And it's not an excuse, but I didn't know what to do with it. So hence, my devotions are a way of unpacking and releasing and talking it out with the Holy Spirit that knows more than I could ever, and in a safe space. So it's not limited to, my intelligence, my intellect, or anyone else's. It knows, right? It knows everything. So past, present, future, and beyond, all of that good stuff. I guess that's the future, right? Okay. Infinity and beyond. So, getting to the point before I flunked out. Oh yeah, I have talked about this. It's coming back to me. I don't know what that devotion was, but I talked about not knowing what to do with the stories. And I'm not saying stories like they're lies, but with the accounts maybe, with what others brought to me because they could talk to me. I won't mention his name. And this is a sensitive space, so if talking about certain issues or hearing them is going to maybe trigger or affect you in a negative way, then go ahead and maybe this may not be the devotion you want to listen to, because again, it's my spiritual therapy session that is on blast. Maybe it ministers to someone else. But I'll pause while you turn me off. Swipe left. Keep going. So, I remember talking about walking the track with him. We would just walk as he let go of some stuff that was happening in his household. I'll leave it there. You can imagine. And another young lady, that's heavy. In another moment, okay, I don't know if I want to rehash that whole devotion again, Lord. It was a lot. Okay, so I'll build on what I have already gone through, I guess, to the prior devotion. Some of those points have settled in, I think, for me. So progressing, moving forward, one of the things that still occupy my mind, or was it preoccupy my mind? Worry a bit. Not worry, but I don't know. I don't quite have closure about was this young lady. And we're in the dorms. So there's showers, there's all this, stuff available. And she had a roommate. I won't do that yet, Lord. I can't even, you know what? Let me just skip that part. I'll just go to the part where I remember coming to her when others We're gossiping. And I just asked, like, is there anything I can do? And what has confused me was the response. Like, it upset her, my offering to help her. I didn't want to talk about her. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a, psychiatrist. Like, I'm not, none of those things. I'm just, trying to see, is there anything I can do? I don't know if they had, I think the supplies were there. Well, of course, we brought our own soaps and things, but, I could have said, hey, I have some extra body wash or whatever, or offer to get her some. Or tell my folks, hey, there's someone, on my floor that needs some help. Can you send a care package or whatever, to get her some aid. There are resident, what do you call them, RAs? What are they called? What does that stand for? I think resident assistant. I don't know. But I can understand why it may be daunting to, to go to someone officially, like, hey, So, I didn't put her on, I just went to her myself. But I didn't understand the response, why she was angry. So that flopped. Then I remember training for a job. It wasn't orientation. I think we were just training. So there were computers, there were different rows of, whatever. So this one particular fellow, he had a strong odor. And this time, I don't think I said anything. I didn't offer it, and it was a man, versus a girl. I don't want to walk up to him like, hey, can I get you some deodorant or something, package, whatever. I don't remember what. Now, these are adults at this point versus, I'm not saying teens and whatnot before, but hopefully we're more mature to not poke fun or laugh or ridicule or whatever, gossip. It was a little bit different because I'm not sure if people talked. I wasn't really talking to, a lot of the other trainees, or saw them quite as often, as far as compared to a dorm floor. But down the road, later in life, I realized I was introduced to homelessness. I've been sheltered my whole life. I never thought about rent or, things of that nature. Never thought about it. Until, what happened, Lord? I came of age and I saw it. I don't know if I didn't watch the news or if I did not, maybe I could hear it, but it didn't really register to me before because I was, I guess, sheltered. My life was my family. We have a big family, my church. Never hungry, right? That I can recall. There was always food. There was always more than enough. Until I came of age, and now I'm going off to college. I'm exploring campus jobs and, things of that nature. So, I see more. And people are talking to me. All these souls are coming up to me. And I'm like, wait a minute, this just isn't on the TV, right? Or an ad on the radio. This is real. These are human beings. So I realized later that maybe he did not have somewhere to stay. I wrote a poem called A Place to Stay. I think that was one of the earlier ones when I just started writing. I wasn't writing before, and I've mentioned this several times in different devotions, until I met a former educator. And I would say I opened up with her. It was like looking at a mirror image of someone, I mean, what did I just say? It was like looking into the mirror. She was much older, but we had a lot of similarities. I don't know if it's our mentality or our spirit. Both believers in the Holy Spirit. That does help, right? Of the, one of the same faith, same mind. Relationship, I think, is what I'm saying. It wasn't a religion that we just believed in, but our walk. Because the way she expressed to me was she had a walk, she sang, she had devotion. So on that note, it wasn't just fact and, following a certain, I think you get it. So anyways, I began writing in her presence. It just flowed, and many times I wanted to stop. I've talked about this several times, and she told me to keep going. Don't delete anything, keep going. I'm like, okay. So I'm writing and 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 writing now. But going back, I shouldn't stop there. Okay, Lord, where am I going? The expression. Okay, a place to stay. So I wrote a poem called A Place to Stay. I think it was shortly after having met her that year, I would say. Because she as well talked to me about helping. What do you call it? Philanthropy. She's a big humanitarian. Others in her family loved on people, the homeless. So I'm writing stories, and I don't even know why. I'm like, Lord, why is this coming to me? It just flowed through me, right? I'm a vessel. So I wrote a poem called A Place to Stay. I won't even look it up. But so my world is opening up. What is my time doing? Oh, Lord. Okay, it's at 12. Okay. So I'm introduced to things on a personal level, right? And I know for myself, if I miss a paycheck, right? If I miss whatever, like, dang it, how do I make that up? So, let's see. I'm older now. I'm not just with my grands or my family. I see stuff. I'm talking to people. I'm hearing. I'm listening. And so now this man that I just thought to myself had an odor and maybe refused to bathe. He may have had a story, could have had a story behind that. Maybe he didn't have access to facilities, right? But, truth be told, excuse me, there's water and there's soap. This is a big corporation we're training. I'm thinking, Lord, why won't he just go into the bathroom and just use what's there? Or some of the restaurants, wash it out. It seems so easy. Not easy, but I'm thinking, that's just an answer, why not? I don't know. I don't know his story. So, still unpacking. So recently, I placed an order for something, swim goggles. And I didn't know that they were coming from another place. I thought they were going to be, it's like a domestic order. Usually we take the safety precautions, check for contact, that your address, something on the page. So I can learn, I swim, but, nothing crazy. So I can take classes and be able to see, right? So I think it's a good thing. I'm on a good road. and I'm charged, and the shipping's in there. And then I get emails, continue placing your order. Why did you leave? I'm like, hold up, didn't I place this order? So now I'm having to dig, like, I thought I placed the order already. I did. And I see another charge, a double charge for shipping. I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. I try calling. The number is not in service. Maybe I missed out. I called again. Oh my God, is this a scam? Lord, why do people do this? So now I have to dispute with the bank. Like, look, I placed an order. Here's a receipt with the shipping included. I see that they're trying to charge me again. And I try calling and that number is not in service. So, they have the block, they have the blah, blah, blah. I sent an email like cancel, and I send screenshots. You tried charging me twice. I don't know if I put your numbers not in service. I should have. If I didn't, whatever, They didn't respond. I've already put it in the hands of the bank. Days later, we shipped your order. And then after the fact, oh, we only charge you once. They respond to one of the emails. And it says cancel. The whole truth is you tried to charge me again. And the whole truth is, I believe you definitely saw that email before you shipped it or was contacted, right? So now I'm understanding, I think the reason help is not always received is because everyone's not honest. They may be giving you something good and hiding with their right hand and hiding their left hand. In other words, I don't know. There's like an old saying behind that, but that's how I see it. So you don't know if I can trust. So now I'm thinking, why respond? It's on the way now. And I know they saw the screenshots where they double charged me. They didn't address it, or they tried, to try to charge me twice. They pretended not to know the whole truth, right? They chose not to confess. So can I trust a company or an individual that's coming with something good, be it a Bible or a book or whatever out? But do they have ulterior motives? Are they really honest? Are they really legit? Can I talk to them? I couldn't talk to them. I tried. The number was out of service. Face to face. Are they hiding something? So now the Spirit is showing me the whole truth is important.